Hello everyone. So let us start with the next colligative property, that is what we call as boiling point elevation. So first, before proceeding for the boiling point elevation, we must know what is boiling point. This is temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid equals to atmospheric pressure. So when the vapor pressure of liquid of the liquid of which we want to find out the boiling point, if the vapor pressure of that particular liquid, it becomes equals to atmospheric pressure, at that temperature the liquid boils or the solvent starts boiling. The boiling point of the solvent is elevated by dissolving a non-volatile solute into it. So the solutions containing non-volatile solutes, they boil at higher temperature than the boiling point of the pure solvent. Means when the non-volatile solute is added to the solvent, the solution which is formed, it will boil at higher temperature than the boiling point of the pure solvent. In the earlier video, we have seen that there was lowering in the vapor pressure due to the addition of non-volatile solute into the solvent, which is forming a solution here. It means that there was decrease or lowering of the vapor pressure of the solution or addition of solute into the solvent. But this is exactly opposite is happening with the boiling point. Means boiling point will be increased when you add non-volatile solute into the solvent, which results in the formation of a solution. It is quite obvious that whenever there is a lowering in vapor pressure, means if the vapor pressure is lowered, that particular solute or the solvent, sorry, that solvent would be boiling at high temperature. So as there is a lowering of vapor pressure, obviously the boiling point will be elevated. So the solution containing non-volatile solutes, they will boil at high temperature than the boiling point of a pure solvent. So T naught B, that is nothing but the boiling point of pure solvent. TB, it is nothing but the boiling point of the solution. So TB would be greater than T naught B. Means the boiling point of the solution on addition, the solution which is formed on addition of a non-volatile solute, the boiling point of that solution would be more than the boiling point of the pure solvent, which is denoted by T naught B. And the difference between these two, that is TB minus T naught B, it is denoted by delta TB, which is nothing but the boiling point elevation here. So this is about the boiling point. We'll proceed further with the next slide here. So why is there a elevation in the boiling point of the solution when non-electrolyte solute is added to the solvent? So there are some reasons for this thing to happen. Let us compare vapor pressure of solution and those of the pure solvent. We know that from the lowering of vapor pressure, that at any temperature P1 would be less than P01. What is this P1? That is the partial vapor pressure of solvent when it is in solution phase. And P01, that is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, means it when the solute is not added, it is in the pure form. So these are the two things, that is P1 and P01. Now when you look at this graph, the curve CD, this curve CD, it lies below that of the solvent curve AB. So this curve AB, it stands for solvent, and this curve CD, it stands for solution here. So from the graph, it is seen that the CD curve which lies below the solvent curve AB, it means that delta P would be equal to P01 into X2. This is the thing we knew from the lowering of vapor pressure. So from the graph, you can see here, if you look at this point A, this is the, if you take it on the x-axis, this is the temperature. So this corresponds for the solvent, means this is the boiling point of the pure solvent here. And this point C, it corresponds to the boiling point of the solution, if you take it from the curve CD. So this TB and this T naught B. So this TB is greater than T naught B here. So the boiling point of the solution on addition of the non-volatile solute, the boiling point of this solution will be increased than the boiling point of the solvent when it is in pure form. So you can see here from the graph, the TB, that is boiling point of solution, it is greater than delta, that it is greater than T naught B, that is the boiling point of the pure solvent. So this is about the graph. So the same thing it is shown here graphically here. So we'll proceed further for the next slide. Here you can see when we proceed, that is at boiling point of a liquid, what happens when the liquid boils? At its boiling point, its vapor pressure that will be equal to 1 atmospheric. It means that at boiling point, the vapor pressure will become equal to the atmospheric pressure. At that condition only the liquid will boil. So the solution must be heated to high temperature to cause it to boil than the pure solvent. When the solution is formed, when the solute is added into the solvent, the solution is formed, that should be heated to higher temperature to cause it to boil. And the vapor pressure of solvent is more than the solution. We have seen this. We know this, that the vapor pressure of solvent in pure form, it is more than when it is in solution form. So the solution must be heated at high temperature to attain vapor pressure, which will be equal to the atmospheric pressure. That is to attain the boiling point. What is this? To attain this vapor pressure equal to atmospheric, nothing but the boiling point of the solution. So to attain the boiling point, it should be heated at the high temperature than it was heated when it was in pure form. Means on addition of solute into the solvent, the solution which is formed, it has to boil at high temperature to attain its boiling point. That is nothing but there is elevation in the boiling point when it is forming a solution here. Now this delta B, delta TB, that is nothing but the elevation in boiling point. This is proportional to M. M, it is the molality of the solution. Now here since we are changing the temperature, so we must use here the term molality. We can't use here molarity, because molarity will change with the temperature, but molality will remain constant. So we want the thing to remain constant. So delta TB, it is proportional to M, that is the molality of the solution. So delta TB will be equal to KB into M. This is your equation 1. What is this small m? This is molality of the solution. KB is nothing but the boiling point elevation constant or molar elevation constant, because we are thinking, or we are just applying this whole thing to the 1 molar solution. So here we can say that is the molar elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant. This is also can be called as a ebullioscopic constant. Now if the solution is 1 molar, then delta TB will be equal to KB. Means if in this equation 1, if you put M equal to 1, so delta TB will be equal to KB here. So that is ebullioscopic constant is the boiling point elevation produced by 1 molar solution. You can see here delta TB, when we say delta TB equal to KB, it means that what is this KB? This is the ebullioscopic constant. This is the boiling point elevation. What is this boiling point elevation? It is denoted by delta TB. So these two terms are equal when the solution is 1 molar. You can rearrange this equation as KB equal to delta TB upon M. So this is your equation 1. This can be written in this way also. Or that if you want to find out the unit for this KB, that is molar elevation constant, K, this is the temperature, and molality, it will be moles per kg. The unit for this will be kg per mole. This is the unit of KB, that is molar elevation constant. Now the next, here molality is used, not molarity, because molarity changes with temperature, whereas molality is temperature independent. And we want that system whose temperature is not constant, because we are heating that system. So obviously the temperature would change. So instead of molarity, we should use here molality term. Therefore, concentration of solute is expressed in moles per kg, that is molality. So delta TB equal to KB into M. Suppose a solution is prepared by dissolving W2 gram of solute in W1 gram of solvent. Then the moles of solute in W1 gram of solvent will be equal to W2 upon N2. So that is W2 upon N2, that is nothing but we can write here W2 upon N2 is nothing but we can call it as N2 also, that is the moles of solute here. What is this M2 here? M2 is the molar mass of solute. W2 is nothing but the mass of solute. M, that is the molar mass of solvent, and W1, this is M1 actually. This M1, this is the molar mass of solvent, and this W1, that is equal to the mass of solvent. Now the next slide will go. Then molality, was it molality? Molality is denoted by small m. This is nothing but moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg. So m will be equal to, molality will be equal to, moles of solute is nothing but W2 upon M2, and mass of solvent in kg means W1 per 1000 kg. So you can write this way, 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. We are just rearrange this equation. Okay. And the unit for this will be moles per kg, means m will be equal to 1000 into W2 into W divided by M2 into W1 here. Now we will substitute the value for this m into this equation. So delta TB will be equal to Kb into m. Now Kb into m, substitute the value of this m here, small m, that is molality, 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. So if you rearrange this equation in terms of M2, that is the molar mass of solute, that will be equal to 1000 into Kb into W2 divided by delta Tb into W1. So now by knowing these values for Kb, W2 and delta Tb and W1, that is the molar mass of non-volatile solute, can be calculated, and this method is known as ebullioscopy. This is about the elevation in boiling point. Now we will proceed further for the next thing, that is depression in freezing point. Now what is this freezing point? Freezing point is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of solid will be equal to the vapor pressure of liquid here. So when these two vapor pressure, they will become equal at that particular temperature, the given solution or the solvent, it will freeze. Now a liquid freezes at a temperature at which the liquid and its solid coexist in equilibrium. This condition is reached when vapor pressure of solid and liquid are equal. Means if you take example of water and ice, a temperature will reach, suppose at 0 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, when the water, it will start freezing, some amount of water still will remain in liquid form. Means once the equilibrium is attained, then the freezing of the solvent or the liquid will start. Now if you look at this graph, this is the AB curve or AB line, it is for the solid solvent. This is for the solid solvent. This CD curve, this is for the liquid solvent. And this EF curve, this is for the solution. Remember. Okay. This is the solvent in pure form in liquid state. This is the solvent in pure form in solid state. Means at this particular point B, it will freeze. And this is for EF, this is the curve for the solution here. Now freezing point of solution containing non-volatile solute is lower than the pure solvent. Now look at this graph here. This T0F, this is what? This is the freezing point of pure solvent. Now we will go to this TF. So this TF at this point B, this point B corresponds to the freezing point of the pure solvent. Whereas this point E, you can look at this graph here. This point E, it corresponds to the TF. TF means nothing but the freezing point of solution in which non-volatile solute is dissolved. Now if you take on x-axis, temperature is increasing in this direction. So this T0F is having more value or greater value. Then this TF means this is for solution, TF this is for solution, and this T naught F is stands for the pure solvent. Means when you add non-electrolyte solute into the pure solvent, there will be depression in the freezing point of the solution. You can see from here. That is T naught F is having greater value and TF is having the lower value here. Now, if you proceed further here for the next slide here. Now, we'll see one by one. The effect of dissolution of non-volatile solute into solvent in terms of vapor pressure lowering can be explained with this graph. Now remember, this lowering in vapor pressure plays a major role in deciding either boiling point or the freezing point of the solution or the solvent. Now this AB curve, this is for the solid solvent, as I already told. CD, it is for the pure liquid solvent. You can see here, this is solid solvent, this is for the liquid solvent. And this EF, this curve, which lies below the pure solvent, this is for the solution here. So the solute does not dissolve in solid solvent. So in this AB curve, there is no solute dissolved. This is for the pure solid solvent. Now what happens? Curves AB and CD, it interacts at point B. This is at point B. This is the AB curve and this is CD curve. This interacts at this point B. So when it interacts at this point B, where solid and liquid phases of pure solvent are in equilibrium. This is the solid phase and this is the liquid phase of the solvent. They are in equilibrium at this point, that is at point B, and the two phases have same vapor pressure, and the temperature corresponding to point B will be the freezing point of the pure solvent. We have seen this. This is T naught F, means at point B, this is the freezing point of T naught F. Means when this solid and liquid phase of this are in equilibrium at that temperature, there will be the freezing point of that pure solvent. Then the curves EF and AB, they intersect at point E. Now look at this graph. This is the point E. This AB curve and this EF curve. This EF curve stands for solution. They intersect at this point E. So at this point E, this is the temperature corresponding to this point E. This is the freezing point of the solution here. Now you can see from this graph itself that this TF is less than T naught F. You can see here. This TF is having smaller value than this T naught F. So this is the graph for variation of vapor pressure with temperature of pure solvent and solid solvent and solution. All the three curves are shown here. Since we are discussing about the freezing point, so the solid solvent will also appear there and liquid will be also there. And in solution phase, what is the effect on the addition of this solute to the freezing point? Now the next, why this is so? Why there is a depression in the freezing point when the non-volatile solute is added? So at freezing point of pure liquid, attractive forces among molecules are large or great enough to cause the change of phase from liquid to solid. Means the attractive forces are greater or more or large to cause the change of solid phase. We know that when these molecules, they come together, the liquid would change from liquid phase to the solid phase. So there is a more attraction between the molecules when it is in pure liquid form. But what happens when this solute is added to the solvent? In solution, these solvent molecules will go away from each other because of solute molecules, because we are adding here solute molecules, and that results in decrease in attractive forces between the molecules of solvent when it is in solution phase, and therefore freezing point of solution is lower than the freezing point of solvent or liquid, and this is nothing but TF is less than T naught F. What is this T naught F? This is T naught F. This is nothing but a freezing point of solvent in pure form. TF is the freezing point of solution in when the solute is added. Solute and solvent, they are mixed together. So this is the reason for the depression in freezing point. Now the last slide, this freezing point depression, it is again a temperature dependent term. So the concentration of solute must be expressed in molality. Remember, earlier for the lowering in vapor pressure, we have considered molarity. For depression in boiling point, we have considered again molality. Here also the same thing. We have to consider molality, not molarity. So if it is a 1 molar solution, delta TF will be equal to KF. KF is nothing but a cryoscopic constant. And the unit of this KF would be K into kg per mole. From this equation, we can derive the unit for this delta TF upon M. M is nothing but moles per kg. Delta TF is done by K means Kelvin. Now molality, we all know that M is equal to 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. Now as we did for boiling point, for the same here we can do for freezing point also. That is, we are having this equation delta TF equals to KF into M. Now instead of M, you substitute the value of M here. So you'll get KF into 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1. If you write this equation in terms of M2, that is the molar mass of solute here. So M2 will be equal to 1000 into KF into W2 divided by delta TF into W1. And this method, which is used to find out the molar mass of solute by knowing the depression in freezing point, this method is known as cryoscopy. So this is about the freezing point depression when you add non-volatile solute into the solvent, that there will be depression in the freezing point in the solution which is formed. Thank you.